say Tomfuckery. My name's Warren Pruitt, and I'm bringing you the Tomfuckery of the day. Today, on Hump Day, we saw Saudi Arabia lose their seat on the Human Rights Council at the UN. Now, how they were ever on that council, I don't know, considering they chopped people's hands off and issued 2,000 lashings for atheistic tweets. That's right, 2016, a man was sentenced to 2,000 lashings, a fine in excess of $5,300 equivalent to the United States currency, as well as 10 years in prison for an atheistic tweet. So, that's good to know that they were on the seat. However, they didn't lose their seat by being elected off or voted off the island or anything like that. No. As it turns out, the Human Rights Council, within that part, you can only sit for 2 consecutive terms. Terms that are 3 years and staggered. 3 staggered sets of terms. And Saudi Arabia served from 2014 through the end of 2019. It was just put out today that they had to give up their seat, which was obvious to anybody who keeps up with that sort of thing. However, who got elected onto the Human Rights Council? None other than the People's Republic of China. That's right, the contemporary Nazi Germany of the world. Communist China, who has been subjugating and persecuting the Uyghur Muslim population, putting them in re-education centers, subjecting them to forced sterilization, among other tortures. How wonderful. Now, the interesting thing about such a story might be that this could be an opportunity for China to be investigated for their current human rights violations. After all, the UN was formulated after World War II. So this seems right up their motherfucking alley to do. So, that kind of makes me look in retrospect at Saudi's appointment to the Human Rights Council. They had a chance to come clean about their investigation. They told pretty much every human rights organization on the planet to go fuck themselves when they said, yeah, we're not really doing flogging anymore. What about that hand chopping thing? What? Right, that's right. They still have not commented about the severing of human limbs for crimes as petty as thievery. Now, granted, I hate a thief just as much as the next person. However, I think that they should be prosecuted and sentenced to jail time, not have their hand cut off. That's a little much. When questioned about such things, the delegate from Saudi Arabia on the Human Rights Council said that these sorts of punishments that were consistent with Islamic doctrine were in place since the founding of Islam and will still be in place in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So, that's always good. Although it should be noted that a few years back they did allowing women to drive. So, somehow people perceive that as a win, even though they had to drive in a burqa with a man in the passenger seat. That's right, remember that. It's not a driver's license, it's a driver's permit. So, there's that. That's pretty much the tomfuckery of the week. China gets a seat on the Human Rights Council, and I imagine, just like the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, they're going to tell the Human Rights Council of the UN to go fuck themselves when they decide to say, hey, stop persecuting and forcibly sterilizing Uyghurs. So, let's see how that plays out. Also, be aware that the concentration camps exist. If you didn't see that ominous video, trust me, it's a click and a search away. About 100 Uyghurs, bags over their heads, forced onto a train at gunpoint. That happened in this century. Not to get serious here at the end of this, but never forget, I believe, was the slogan of the Holocaust.